All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Okay, so got an interesting video for you today. Let's have a look at these beautiful Mapex Armory limited edition Anaconda Burst drums. Oh, look at how gorgeous that is. Gorgeous. Okay, so today is how do you record your drums? So I'm new to recording drums. I've never recorded drums before in my life other than the last past week since I've had this, right? And I think I got where I'm going to put my mics and stuff like that. I got two. I got the SM57 up there, the legend itself, and his brother, the SM58, which is not really the best drum mic, but it's not a bad overhead actually because the way it picks up and stuff like that. The thing that I'm finding that my first kind of problem is whether to record the drums first or my guitars first. Okay, hear me out. And I'm pretty sure every drummer is probably going to have something to say about this, and love to hear what you guys have to say about this, especially for us noobs. Okay, so just to recap, I've been a guitar player for about 45 years. I'm 50 years old now. I've been a drummer for about a week. Although I did take, in school, high school, I played the drums for like a half a semester or whatever in the musical band, right? So learned a little bit of drum music, sheet music and stuff like that. And then, of course, being in bands in the 90s and stuff like that, jam on a drums once or twice. Live, I've maybe played drums, maybe 3 songs in my entire life. Just regular rock beat or whatever. So I've always been, I spent a lot of time with my last drummer back in the 90s when I was in a band called Syndicate. And he had Pearl exports, and he was a big Tommy Lee fan and stuff like that. And used to go used to help him tune his drums, and he used to help him shop for cymbals and stuff like that. And, we'd go into the music store and there'd be all kinds of, I'd be testing out all the guitars. He'd be up in the drums. But, drummers are kind of like wives or girlfriends where they go shopping for something. It's like it takes them like 5 times longer than a normal human being. Just a drum thing. And I understand it. Like trust me, I'm understanding the whole drum. There's a lot of like the hardware. Like I'm looking at the Gibraltar hardware now and stuff like that. Like it's like, oh, will this make this a bit better? It's not priority. I've got everything I need. I got to pay this thing off first before I worried about upgrading it. This will last long enough the way it is. It'll be more than suffice for till I can upgrade the hardware stand and stuff, just to lower the footprint a bit. But anyway, off topic there. So the first time I recorded the drums a couple of songs ago, obviously the drums weren't very good. I get that. I tried to play along with my metronome, but even with the headphones in, to hear the metronome over the boom thundery thing is kind of hard. Like it's really hard to hear to hit on the beat. You know what I mean? Because you can't quite discern as easily. You know what I mean? So obviously, maybe it's just a practice thing. Obviously, should always be playing to a metronome anyway. But what I tried on the last song, which I didn't quite, I should have done a couple more takes on it with the drums, but I was just, goofing around anyway, is what I did is I recorded the guitar first and recorded it to the click, so to speak, to the metronome. And then I put my headphones on, but with my headphones full blast on that, even though it didn't get any mic bleed, I was okay that way. It was still kind of hard to hear the guitars, but it was easier than discerning the click. So I found, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So each had their pros and cons. So what do you guys do? Like, do you just like put the drum click down, like the metronome down, drums first to that, or do you play it off the guitar? Hey, get the guitar down first perfectly, and then see if you can. Isolation headphones are going to be probably my next purchase for the drum kit, just so I can drown out the drums. What's clicking? Oh, that's what's clicking. So it sounds like some. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so I found I drowned out, if I can drown out the drums a bit with the isolation headphones, which I don't have right now, that would probably do better. But one thing I noticed is you don't play the drums the same to a click as you do to a guitar. So a drum you would hit to a click might sound, okay, yeah, it's in time, it sounds good. But then with the guitar, one thing I'm noticing, I'm not sure exactly what the tuning is. This is supposed to be tuned to roughly a G. It's not quite at a G. That's supposed to be at a C. That's supposed to be at a C sharp. And this is at F. Yeah. And one thing I'm, like on my little Korg MA2 metronome, it does have a tuner for your drums to tell you what you're tuned at, right? So I'm a little bit out with the tuning pitch-wise. So if I want heavier drums, the closer I can get to that tuning, the better. So what that does, you think of the... when you're playing to the click, you think more rhythmically, but when you're playing to the guitar, even though the guitar is perfectly in time because it's been played to a metronome, you think more musically of which tom you would hit. So when I hit like like say I'm using the 7 string back there, and I start really wailing on like a major or a ninth B chord 9, you know what I mean, something really girthy like that. It sounds great when you're hitting the bigger toms, right? But it also sounds great when you're hitting the bigger toms and kind of combine, with that, rather than just playing these 2 toms. You play this one and that one, or this one and that one. Because the drums are tuned lower, they actually resonate in the same frequency range as the guitars, which again makes it more musical, and how you would choose which drum you would hit instead of just being in time. There's also, that's why I think some drummers sound better than others. It's not that they necessarily play better, but they tend to play their drums with the same, the drums hitting the tuning of the chords closer, which makes a better sounding, a fuller sound. So yeah, I don't know if I'm making if people understand exactly what I'm explaining there, but I've already noticed it one week in. I was like, oh, hey, yeah, these things are actually tuned, and I already knew about this, but yeah, so when I do retune my drums, I'm going to retuning with the 7 and 8 string in mind. And if you're a drummer out there and you're really experienced, what pitch do you tune each of your drums to for like 7 and 8 string guitars? I'd really like to know that. And of course, what do you tune to standard guitars? Like where do you how low or how high do you set your toms and your snare? But anyway, yeah. So do you record your guitar first, and then play off the guitar, or do you just record your drums first? There you go.